I was telling Joe we haven't launched it yet. We filmed a new episode of the new podcast. And that's a different setup where the 2 chairs are over here and the table's right in the middle, and I make coffee as we talk back and forth and just about life and work. And
so it's kind of like Hot Ones.
Yeah,
except with coffee.
It is, but with coffee. Also hot, but different.
Hot Twos.
Have you seen Hot Ones?
Just once.
Oh.
And by once, I mean part of one.
Seem like you get it. We're ready to go? Recording on all fronts? All right.
All quiet on the
Do you have
Western Front.
questions?
Really snuck up on us. No, I don't. I have a couple topic ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I meant to do that just in case too.
You're gonna post it right now?
Could try that.
I'll do the introduction while you do that. You can look. You can look like me.
All right.
Well, welcome to the Rise podcast. Conversations around faith, fatherhood,
Figuring it all out.
figuring it all out.
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah, that's like my love language.
Max.
Is Greg finally getting the
Yes.
introduction?
Max has the faith. I have the fatherhood. Joe has the figuring it all out.
Yep.
Of course.
I didn't want that one.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't have it all together.
So before we go,
Mm-hmm.
I'm chewing gum.
Oh, it's
Do
okay.
I swallow or not?
I think you should.
Because that's the debate.
Wait, are you
People
getting
say-
rid of it regardless? Or you're just curious how to do it, or
I'm getting rid of it regardless.
yeah,
like
you
a
should
pill.
swallow it.
Okay. Because I just don't think people say it's in your stomach for 7 years, which
Let
is
them talk. Let
which
them
has
say
gotta.
it.
I mean, that's got to be the worst lie ever.
Yeah, there's just
Okay,
no way.
but just before, just think about, do you want to be at your kid's wedding someday?
I do.
I-
What does that have to do with this?
Nothing. I
maybe,
just-
maybe unrelated.
Could be related or
Just
not.
think about it.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna swallow it. Get a couple more chews out of it though.
Well, while you're doing that, Joe, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank
You
you.
made a good enough impression, I guess. You're back here again.
I guess.
By
yeah.
popular demand.
Yeah, I could
By-
not push enough people away. They just all were telling me how much they loved it. They loved it. They loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mostly my mom saying she liked it.
Really?
Yeah, Joe and Greg, Joe and Greg, Joe and Greg. Just
Really?
fucking
Because it just used to be Greg.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now I don't know if I want Joe here.
Favoritism, it stinks.
The glory grabber is what you are.
I am. I'm all about myself.
Were you excited to get
kinda
an
forgot.
invite back?
I didn't
I-
dress accordingly.
I was
today.
honestly, I kind of, leapt for joy when I figured I was coming back. But then I thought a little bit more.
He was a leper.
Yes. No.
For a
I
moment.
thought a little bit more, and like, okay, is there a reason why maybe they're asking me back? I went through like, okay, expertise. I have no expertise.
And it wasn't that.
I really don't think. I don't think I killed the first one. Maybe popular demand would say otherwise. But
Yeah.
then I finally realized I know why they asked me back.
And what is that reason?
Specifically, actually, I think I know why Greg would have pushed for me, is because he wanted me to share about how Greg did at his first time back at Old Man's Basketball this morning at the YMCA.
I don't think anybody wants to hear about that.
That was
actually.
And
the reason.
I
don't think-
know
What a
that Greg
coincidence.
wants that
No.
to be out.
It's like
It
you're a
was-
mind reader.
yeah,
It was Russ
I have
Central.
the scoop. Let me tell you.
Do you know? Have you guys seen the movie Cars?
Yeah,
You know
Owen
the-
Wilson, classic.
Yes. Yeah.
cried.
No, Rusty's his sponsor. After the first race, he goes and sees and there's like all these cars that have rust. I belonged in that tent. I needed some Rusty's care.
Yeah, so he definitely. Do you mind if we jump into this?
Go
now?
ahead.
Yeah,
You
please
share
do.
your mind.
Yep.
So I mean, he starts
Be
timid.
gentle.
No, I will. No, this is good.
No.
It's edifying.
Okay. Thanks.
He starts gentle. He starts a little passive. He's like, I'm gonna be a good team player. I'm gonna hustle, get on the guy's good side. And he does that.
Miss a few shots.
Clunks a couple layups. I'm like, oh, he's rusty. Yeah, I see it. But then about the third game, I finally get to be on his team.
Third game? Well, you did better than I would.
Yeah.
So he's made it to the third game. I guess that's victory.
Yes.
Maybe they're looking for.
Yeah.
But man alive, he pulls out the most Harlem Globetrotter,
Hey.
slickest move I've ever seen through the lane ever.
Wow.
He
That's a
blows
lot.
past Brian,
Yeah.
who I guess was kind of frustrated with him already.
Yeah.
Blows past Brian, takes the ball behind his back, realizes he's almost in for a layup, doesn't dribble again, and just finger rolls it in.
Yeah.
Kind of like John Stockton.
Yeah. That's
Whoever that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
That could be like.
Be honest. Were you tripping?
What do you mean?
Was that just like did you just play it off really
No,
well?
but it wasn't like I have my mind made up of what I got to do here. It was kind of like, took a couple hard dribbles. Guy came out of nowhere. Brian, I guess. It's like, oh, can't let him have the ball. And then as it went behind my back, it was like, the lane is clear. I should probably shoot it now.
You know what it is?
What's that?
You can retire a body,
Yep.
but you can't retire raw talent.
No, you can't.
Nope.
No.
It'll sneak out no matter how old
Exactly.
you are.
It was oozing out of him.
I felt in that moment the old, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. That's kind of that's what it came like.
Yeah.
We're 1 second of 3 whole games.
It was all downhill after that. But
Yeah.
that play was pretty
You
sweet.
know what my favorite play though was when we made eye contact once and told you to kind of cut for the basket, and I did this bounce pass from about half court, and I felt like it just showed up right in your.
Kind of like a baby in my breadbasket.
It was, and you just went up and finished it well. That was more enjoyable to me than the
I enjoyed that one
than
too.
the John Stockton.
That was more like a
telepathy.
It kind of solidified I have a relationship with this guy.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
Yeah,
too.
that's kind of what I felt like.
It was powerful. And I think other people realized it
I
too.
have to get you guys off the same couch.
Yeah, we might have to.
Strange. in here.
Wicked.
Great shoes, but Max.
Thanks. I've worn them dozens of times in your presence, but I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. No, they look particularly good today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, maybe it's against
Just-
the olive tea.
Yep,
What's the
maybe.
brand? Tagless. I mean, no brandless. I mean, just like
The brand is Nate would know it because he loves them.
Municipal.
Goodfellow.
Goodfellow.
Oh, Target brand.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Municipal.
Telling Max about Municipal the other day. It's Mark Wahlberg's clothing line. Yeah. Great
That's
cuts.
awesome.
Great cuts.
Yeah. So anyway, good week, Joe.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
week. Slow week, but good week.
Slow week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
How about for you, Craig?
I'll tell you what, today by 10 a.m., after doing morning ball at 5:30 and then doing Bible study with some guys from our church at 6:30, went home, took care of
Wait. 10:30. Was those reversed around?
No, well, what did I
6:30
say?
this morning,
6:30 this morning.
and then 10:30 basketball.
No, 5. Did I say 10:30? I meant 5:30.
Oh, did you say?
He said 5:30.
Let's roll
No,
tape.
no problem. 5:30,
rewind
then
it.
6:30. Went home.
Oh, okay.
My wife wasn't feeling very well. Has has a little something going on, little fever or whatever. So watched the kids for an hour. Got back to work. Had a gal that needed to be prayed for in the parking lot. Came inside. Oh, actually, on the way to back to church, I'm like, oh, there's a guy having a surgery today. I should stop by his house, see if he's around. Stop by his house. I'm ringing his doorbell. They forgot something. They had already went to the hospital. Pulled back into the driveway, so that was great.
Wow.
Got to talk with him a little bit. Then got to church. Somebody needed prayer in the parking lot. Went into the church building. Somebody was in there looking for some prayer for some health issues. Got out of the church, got in my car. I had to run a quick errand. Got a phone call from a gal whose son had just committed suicide.
Wow.
So it was like, okay, so that's a lot. And it was like by 10 o'clock, I felt like I'd lived 2 lives already. 'Cause it was
Yeah.
kind of like meeting. It's like 4 different lives that needed some intentional
That's-
stuff. Made me feel like a pastor,
That's
which was
heavy
a blessing.
load. Yeah.
It was. But
yeah.
I mean, rest of the day was smooth sailing. But
Yeah.
so kind of like wham bam this
Oof.
morning.
That is a lot.
Was a lot. But that was my day
Wow.
so far. Podcast though now,
Yeah.
which is
Well, I feel like I've had some significance in my day, but I feel like anything I would say after that would just seem so temporal,
Well, it's just
worldly.
different.
Worldly,
yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah, because those were such holy activities.
Well,
No.
they were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, my day was, my week, I should say, was fairly normal. Spent some time in Sioux Falls, spent some time here. You guys can attest to the fact that it is hotter than sin in this room right
It is.
now.
Yep.
Yep, we got a freestanding AC unit. Same day we bought a fairly nice printer.
Wow.
Big spending day. 'Cause
Wow.
Those were big
Ooh,
ticket
an
items.
HP. Nice.
Yeah, HP. You ever heard
Hewlett
of it?
Packard.
I have.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Pretty cool. So we've been spending some coin this week. Not as fun as making coin, obviously.
course
so
not.
they're doing that as well, but just I think that's really been on my mind a lot of like, man, that sucks. I just spent a lot of money.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, it's been good.
I was
also,
down in Sioux Falls last week too.
oh, really? What were you there
Yes.
for?
I was also in Sioux Falls last week.
No way.
Yeah.
So
Not at the same time.
no,
obviously.
of course not.
Greg and I don't, don't get the wrong idea, people.
No, don't please.
We just work together.
It's actually another. This isn't to. I don't say this for any type of
Clout.
or credit by any means. It's just I was down to Sioux Falls. It was a moment that it was a great teaching moment for me, being young, and kind of stepping into this new role that I'm in. Got a call from a daughter that a gal was sick. She's been kind of cancer for a long time, getting closer to death. And I actually was thinking like, well, maybe I can run there the next day. We'll kind of see. And Dave actually said like, no, when these situations come up, just go. Just leave whatever you need to leave in the office and go. So it's like, okay, sounds good. I was going to finish some stuff up, go the next day. Got down there, got to spend some time with the gal and the family. And by the time I got back to Marshall, pretty much she had passed away. So it was kind of like glad Dave was there to say go, because I would have just probably been like, yeah, it'll be fine. We'll go tomorrow, and been a missed opportunity. So yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You have a almost there's an artfulness with your ability to talk about such horrible situations while maintaining the lightheartedness of the podcast overall.
I don't mean to. I hope it's not coming off as offensive or unsympathetic.
No, it's not. It's not coming off as unsympathetic, which is amazing. I mean, it's just, yeah, that's a lot. That's wild.
Yeah.
Today,
Today.
a little bit this morning, rest of it this afternoon, Rachel and I are in the process of buying a new car.
No
For
way.
Rachel, Yahweh.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you. I feel so honored.
So
More money that we're spending.
dang it. Yeah. Talk about.
It's kind of fun. You
Coin.
gotta admit it. It's kinda,
So
It's for Rachel. It's her car,
Which
so
is
it's less
wonderful,
fun
though.
for me. But
so Mercury, is that in or out?
I have the Mercury.
You do.
That's mine.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But then didn't you drive the Nissan today?
Today I
You
did.
did.
Yep. That's what we're trading in.
So you're gonna trade in the Nissan.
Yep. Trading in the
Okay, and you're
Nissan.
keeping the Merc. I thought maybe the Merc was going. You were sliding into Rachel's old car.
No,
and
no.
she was getting into something. It was
I got to
gonna be-
keep the Mercury because, well, this isn't, I don't know if this is necessarily public information. It's probably okay to share now. 9017 is likely going to be the fleet manager for 50 to 100 bird scooters that are coming to Marshall,
Really
no
which means
way.
I have to be able to pick some of them up in the mornings and
put them back
put
in,
them back out
into
and-
shape
Yes.
in the right spots.
Yep.
That's some next level 21st century transportation.
So we're
stuff.
gonna get scooters.
I feel like you're using "we're" very liberally, but yeah, this room.
As a Marshall.
We
Oh
are-
yeah, Marshall.
Marshall's good.
Yeah.
As a Marshall. like,
Yes. Yeah. Did you know Bird was coming to Marshall?
I didn't.
Yep.
Are we a scooter town?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, Joe's got strong opinions on
I
it.
can finally sell my car. I don't need anything else.
That's true.
I just need the scooter.
That's a good point. Would you actually do that?
See,
What's their range? How do you charge them and stuff?
I charge them.
You charge them
In the morning they'll be fully charged.
every
You-
night.
You just pay per minute, I think,
Oh, per minute.
to ride it
I
Can
think
he?
so.
But can he park it in Living Word's parking lot?
anywhere. Yep.
Really?
And you just
And
look
then
on the app, it pops up.
Yep.
As long
And
as
then you
no
can-
schmo
it's
comes
like-
through and takes
it's
it.
So
like
Joe can drive it to work.
Yep.
I can drive it home.
Yeah.
And he's stuck.
Yep.
If you could, yeah.
I
You can
love
just
it.
look for the next nearest one on
Which
his
is
app,
probably
like Uber.
probably the one I drove there, so you'd be
Yeah,
fine.
that's exactly right. Yep.
So, but they would go that far. I mean,
Oh yeah, for
miles
sure.
and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Those things can hum too.
Yeah, I think at 20 miles an hour, I think is the
20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Sidewalk or road? What do you got to be on?
you have to be on the road.
You do.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I think you can park it on a sidewalk. I don't know that you're gonna really get chastised if you're on a sidewalk, but it's gonna warn you that you're not supposed to ride on the sidewalk. It's like a bike lane.
Yeah.
Kind of ride it that
Yeah,
way.
that's cool.
Yep.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I'm
So, anyways, back to getting a new car.
Max Rath, everybody.
I was curious if you guys have any great car buying stories because I remembered one from a few years ago. It's a short one, but it's just like tickles me every single time I think about it.
But you should prime the pump.
Okay,
Because I might have one, but I just want to.
So a couple years ago, I bought this old Dodge Durango. Remember that?
Yeah.
I loved it. It was the first like big vehicle I ever had, and it was already old, but I always wanted one when I was
old's
younger.
an understatement.
Yeah,
It was
like,
already very old.
Yeah, it was like a 95, 94, something like that.
Yep.
I bought it for $1,000. I drove it for like 2 years. The last year, the transmission, the reverse went out. It didn't go backwards. I had to be really strategic about where I parked and all that.
Park in a spot where you could pull forward.
Yeah, and I still loved it. But when I first bought this vehicle, I can't remember what happened. We needed one right away. Maybe something with the Audi, whatever. So we just needed one right away. And I liked the idea of that big vehicle. I remember we called this college student who was going down to Texas with his girlfriend or whatever, and the Durango wasn't going to make it, so he was just selling it. And it was great for him, and he had no issues with it, whatever. So I was excited about it. So we met him in his apartment, and Rachel and I get in it, and we're test driving it. And he's just in the back, and he's being a salesman, a good one. Like, it's not like he's a very salesy guy, but he's doing his best. And he's like, yeah, I mean, like, so this, obviously the radio, all that, talking it all up. And then he says, how does the seat feel for you? Like, does it feel like it's good? And
This is so
and I'm like,
remember this?
yeah, it feels great. He's like, good. It doesn't move. So I'm glad to hear you say that. Oh man, I feel like I walked right into that one. It's like totally no negotiation.
Yeah, now it's like, well, yeah, he could have been like, the seat not moving, that's a deal breaker
Yeah,
for me.
it's funny because after he said that, then I was like, oh wait a minute, I didn't really even think about it. Like,
Now it's starting to
it
feel
is a
uncomfortable.
little far back. I'm not sure this is gonna man, this is all the further. So it was kind
When
of a
somebody
bum
talks about lice, your head starts itching.
Yeah, it was
When
like,
people say you can't,
man.
you can't move the chair.
Yep.
I want to move it.
So that was my funny story. I still think about it.
Oh
It's
my
just
gosh.
So Rachel thought that was just hilarious. We talked about that for weeks afterwards.
This isn't really a car buying story, really, but it's yeah. We'll just skip. I got other ones, but the one that popped in my head was my wife's family had a 2001, I believe it is, Town and Country van, Chrysler Town and Country.
Mm-hmm.
Which they just rode so hard, and they ended up just got like 274,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And just parked it behind their barn for like years. And one day I was talking to Todd, and this is her dad. And I'm like, "What's the story with the van?" He's like, "I don't know. You want it? Like, does it run?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, yeah, I want it. Like, of course I want that thing. He's like, "Sure, you can take it, whatever." So I go and one day drive over there and grab the van. Every time I get into that van, something busts. Not like the engine. Like, the engine's been great. It's just like you adjust the radio and not busts off. You're like, oh, like one day I realized there's buttons behind the steering wheel for things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is so cool. How did I not know this? I was driving it for a couple months by that time. I'm like, what do they do? I kind of push it. My hand just busts to the back of the steering wheel. It's like been in the sun so long. The plastic was fragile. I was like, oh, okay. Holy smokes.
Not using that anymore.
Yeah, that's all. So it was just, it's just so fun. It's like the Durango, which I just like. I love just having this beater that I drive literally every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times I'm embarrassed by it, to be honest. Like there are times, but in theory I like it.
But every time you drive it, you just feel like you're basically making money.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't love that I'm driving this, but I love what it's giving me.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting miles on my other vehicles.
Yeah.
And it's just like free. I'm driving for free right
That's
now.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. So
I do love that van.
yes. I offered it to Joe
Yeah,
the other
speaking
day.
about how much he loves his van,
I
he's
love
trying
my
to sell
van.
it to me.
I was gonna sell it
You're gonna sell it?
for $300.
Oh, okay.
$300, and he has to mow my lawn for the summer.
That was the deal.
That was the deal. He turned it down.
But I still mows lawn.
Smart man.
Yeah, he still mowed my lawn once. So anyway, Joe, any car stores?
No, car buying, no. Yeah, I got a buddy's boat buying story that I was involved with.
That's next episode.
Okay, next episode.
Okay, tell us about
fine, we
things.
got time.
Okay, just tell
We got
us.
a window.
Get over it.
All right, we got a window. Okay, I'll make it quick. It's not in the same fold as your guys' story. Like this is more like kind of an experience I never had before. So out of the blue one day, one of my roommates texted me. This is last year. I'm living in uptown Minneapolis. Okay,
Yep.
so like
Uptown.
I am a metrosexual at this point. Like I'm just, you guys know what that means, right?
I think so.
I don't know
It's
if
not inappropriate.
Okay.
Okay, so like
We'll roll the dice with it.
maybe you can bleep that out. Maybe that's not an appropriate word to say, but if you, it's fine.
Just split out Metro. I am sexual at this point.
Anyway, so city boy, and out of the blue, one of my roommates texts me, "Hey guys, I need $1,500. Can each of you guys go to the ATM right now and take out as much cash as you can?" We're like, "No, what? No, this is right after like everything had gone down in Uptown, like the riots and stuff in the middle of COVID. Like you don't just go and pull out a bunch of cash at a bank. I feel like right now."
Yeah.
But he's like, "No, guys, I gotta get this boat for my dad tonight. Like, it's an awesome boat. I need it." So we're like, "All right, how do we do this? We've never done this before. We never emptied our bank accounts." But he's like, "I'll Venmo you guys back." So we're like, "Okay, we're gonna get the money back." So we go and make our run on the bank. We go to 3 different banks. We're all at different banks. So Wells Fargo first, lickety split, pull out just a huge wad of cash out of the ATM, and then I'm at US Bank, and I'm telling you, it's kind of weird. I go in and you go to the ATM. There's a lady waiting, social distancing behind me, and I'm like putting in how much money I want, and then I take out this wad of cash, and I look, and she looks at me, and I don't look shady, right? You guys can attest to that.
I can.
But I felt like I was about to go buy something very illegal with all that cash.
Yes.
It was a weird experience.
Yep.
And I think there's more to the story of him. Like the guy ended up showing up at like 3 a.m. to get the boat or give him the boat. He was like super late. But
3
just
a.m.
like,
I'm not buying a boat at 3 a.m.
I know there's a lot
something
of-
fishy about that.
it was
no pun
shrouded.
intended.
It was shrouded in just obscure things that usually most transactions don't have. So that was just it is an interesting buying story of a vehicle.
It was interesting.
Yeah. Was that on Craigslist?
I don't remember. I didn't buy it. I'm just the
Not that
money
I
guy.
would-
You're the
I don't-
middleman.
Yeah.
I was the middleman.
I'm not saying I know the boat, but I know the experience.
Yeah.
Craigslist experience.
When we bought our terrain, I went to the bank or whatever and needed to get cash out.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how much we needed cash. We needed $10,000 or something like that, or something like, I don't know. And so we go and we're like, "Hey, we'd like to," and they got like mad at us, like, "No, I don't know if you can withdraw that much. Like, it's my money, correct?" And the manager had to come out and
And I want it
question and
now.
question me, like, "Is there any reason you're taking out this much cash?" I'm like, so I told, like, "Yeah, we're purchasing a vehicle,"
Yeah.
but I was kind of like, "This is none of your business." I
Yeah.
just was I was just kind of tweaked by the whole thing.
That banks, man.
I was just kind of,
No banks.
yeah, no banks.
I don't do banks.
Coffee cans.
Mattresses.
Coffee cans
Yeah.
back.
Crypto.
Back. Crypto.
See?
But man, it's been hurting lately.
Well, sure, but only the investment side. If you're just look for decentralized finance and a place to store your finances that aren't some institution that gets to make you feel guilty for taking your money out.
Preach, man.
Preach.
Thank you, Max.
I mean, if you love it, you move to El Salvador. Have you been seeing that stuff?
Yeah,
No.
They
apparently.
legalized Bitcoin as an official tender.
You
Yep.
did, huh?
Yeah. Oh, there's some cool, crazy stuff going on in El Salvador right now. I'll
Yep.
save you guys a story, but yeah, Bitcoin.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah. I keep very little in the bank these days.
But here's the deal. This is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
El Salvador.
Mhm.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Joe can speak perfect Spanish.
Yeah.
so.
How do you say that in Spanish?
El Salvador.
Perfect. So I wanted to make sure I was saying it correctly in Espanol.
Yeah. You didn't offend anyone
Thank you.
by saying it.
Good. It's interesting to me that they can legalize it as a tender, right? That no one really cares. Bitcoin didn't seem to really get adjusted a whole lot because of that. But Elon Musk can tweet something about Bitcoin, and that just makes it go flying around.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would feel like, oh, a country.
Imagine
legalized
having
it.
that much power.
Yeah, that like
Yeah.
a country
With a keyboard.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
There was
It is.
something super interesting. You guys hear about this pipeline that?
That they shut down, or they quit.
No,
The XL one?
They're not. You're different story, but follow. I think I'm tracking.
Yeah,
you.
they it was like a ransomware attack.
Yes,
and
yes,
then they
yeah.
got paid. The ransom was essentially in cryptocurrency,
Yes.
and they recovered it.
Yep. So they recovered it.
They recovered the ransom. The coverage on that story was just super weird and interesting. And there's a guy that I was listening to on YouTube. He's a big Bitcoin person. He's not like a
Expert.
conspiracy theorist
Oh, I see,
person,
okay.
but he was just saying like, this just doesn't make any sense. Like, so there's these hackers that are smart enough to hack into this
Shutting down
oil
a
thing,
pipeline.
whatever.
Yeah.
But the FBI was able to recover this cryptocurrency. I don't know if it's Bitcoin or whatever, which means that it wasn't held on a private wallet. Because that was one of the first questions. People were like, did Bitcoin just get hacked? Like, if the FBI could get it back, that's scary because that goes against everything that you know about Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So the headlines were all like, Bitcoin was recovered. The FBI had hacked into the wallet or whatever. People were like, what? Hacked into a wallet? That's like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So this guy was like kind of piecing apart based on like, he's, saying, I don't know that the people who write these stories really understand cryptocurrency. So they're using a lot of phrases. They don't really know what they mean. So
Yeah.
he's putting pieces together and he's like, what this probably was people who are holding this crypto on an exchange. When it's on an exchange, it's held by a U.S. company most of the time,
Right.
which then, you can have a judge basically send down an order saying that company has to, essentially hand over the credentials to that account. That's very different than somebody having a totally secure wallet, not an exchange,
Yes.
being hacked. And
It
so
would be like Venmo. It would be like
the company of Venmo.
the company Venmo.
Versus
if it
like-
was you received your ransom money in Venmo,
Right.
yeah, you could have the company release your password,
Right.
and your thing, and be like, "We're taking this money back now.
Yeah.
We're gonna seize it."
Yep.
But it's not like they came and took cash from your
Actual
coffee can.
wallet. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So this guy's point was like, this doesn't make any sense to me that these hackers were supposedly smart enough to hack into this pipeline thing, or what? It was something with oil. I don't know if it was a pipeline.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
with oil. And they wanted their ransom in cryptocurrency, so obviously they know something about that space. But they were stupid enough
I know exactly
to hold it on an exchange.
Doesn't seem to add
He's
up.
like, that doesn't make any sense. So the reason I preface saying he's not really like it's a conspiracy theorist, but his thing was like, this just feels like the definition of like a false flag event, like where like the government kind of creates something to then shake the public's opinion of something or confidence in something. Because I would agree, there's like a lot of positive news about cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
and it seems to have very little effect. So negative news having this like extreme effect.
Well, it's got to be something with economical structure because people were making so much money
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
Last November, Bitcoin was like 15,000. So even though it's sitting at
Exactly.
37 right now, I mean, people still doubled their money.
Exactly. Well, and the fact that like it was up to 60.
Yeah.
It's over 60.
Yeah.
I mean, I just am like,
It wouldn't be super shocking that like institutions and a lot of politicians that are backed by institutions are not super, financial institutions are not super on board with it for the most part.
yeah.
There are
Well,
some that really are. They're getting on board quickly, but
But it grew from an idea that the government was like, we have time to deal with this, to all of a sudden people making real money,
yeah.
millions and
Creating
millions of dollars,
millionaires, yeah.
like overnight.
Right.
Millionaires getting created, in month spans.
Right.
And so all of a sudden it's like they're not ready. Their tax structure's not ready. Nothing's ready. And I think
Yeah.
it's like I think there was some government panic, which was like
There's some real crazy things on taxes with cryptocurrency. They do not know how to handle it right now.
yeah,
It's
it
weird.
is a wild west
Yeah.
and now yeah. So now it's like even getting taxed on earnings seems like a negative news. Well, it's like, well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean that I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, of course it should be or it will be, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't remember how we got on that, but
Me neither.
it's crazy stuff.
El Salvador.
Banks.
El
El Salvador.
Yep.
Yeah. Coffee
Yes.
cans.
What does El Salvador mean?
Hard to guess. I'll guess
The
the
Salvador?
savior.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The savior.
Salvador.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, that's not a guess. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Thanks
can't.
for telling
I
me.
can't pretend to be humble.
That's not
I know what it is.
Salvatore. Was that Savior?
Salvatore? No, that's a different language.
Oh, okay.
Could be.
That's one of the bad guys in the Flash universe.
Really? Salvatore?
DC, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like a future version of Flash.
Really?
Yeah. That goes bad.
He's so fast he went back in time.
Spoiler alerts. The Flash does go back in time sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Flashpoint. It's a
Never-
big one. It's a whole series dedicated to it.
Are you a big Flash guy?
No, I'm probably more nerdy than you realize when it comes to comic books, but I don't show those colors a lot.
No.
But
Yeah.
I know a weird amount of
But you'd be fine with.
Marvel and DC.
Yeah, you'd
I
be
think that's
surprised
cool.
with conversations.
Yeah.
What's your next tattoo, Max?
Probably one for my daughter.
Mhm.
I don't know what that is yet.
You don't? Okay.
No. And then maybe I'd like to do something on this arm. I don't know. Something.
That arm, is that going to be it?
This might be it over there.
It is.
I think so.
Wow. Yeah. Well, good luck with whatever you decide.
Yeah. What's your next tattoo?
My tattoo, I was looking today. Hope Harbor has a woman's event coming up, Women's Day,
Yeah.
and I stuck one of their promo stickers.
How do you say woman?
Woman?
I think you said woman.
Woman. Whoa, man. So I married an axe murderer, I think. That's a quote. Anyway, I think it was this arm. I stuck a circular promo sticker.
The flower, yeah.
Flower to it.
Yep.
I was like, maybe that's a good spot for a tattoo. No?
No,
Tell me why.
no, just keep chewing on it, I think.
All right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
just my advice.
I'll
2 cents.
I mean,
The
I'm
closer
still probably,
the face is, the better. That's kind of the rule I live by.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
So the further from the face.
Closer, maybe the neck right here or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I
yeah.
definitely want it to be something that's going to distract people as I preach.
Yeah.
And I
What if
made
you
up my
got
mind
one
in
of those
that
like
sense.
traditional collars, like for a priest, right
Yeah.
there?
That'd be an idea.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
seen people do that with wedding rings. They
Yeah.
get those rings tattooed on. Never seen a collar
No.
tattooed on.
Well, I mean, it's certainly. I like that we're having these conversations. It's
Get it all
helpful.
out there.
Yeah.
Kind of throw it
We're just
against the
gonna-
wall, see what
Yep.
sticks.
You got to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yep.
I mean, that's something.
Okay,
Totally.
good. I'm glad you're thinking about it. I can tell you're taking it seriously.
Yeah, no, I'm very serious about it. I mean, I'd say any day now, we'll do something.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's probably climbed. I don't know. I checked my watch because there's no temperature on there. It's probably
hot
climbed
in
10
here.
degrees in here. I would
has,
imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed.
We can call it. It's probably we've been going half hour, 40 minutes.
Has it really?
Calvin gave us the nod. Yeah.
Wow. Let's definitely call it.
The heat's getting to
We
you.
didn't-
You,
yeah.
you lost track of time.
It was so hot today, I went in the women's bathroom. I was so disoriented. I need $1,500. Can each of you guys go to the ATM right now and take out as much cash as you can? I am sexual at this point. Kind of an experience I never had before.